everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we have the Yakima OutPost bed rack. This is going to be a fixed ladder rack that we're going to see the features of, and I'll also show you how to get installed on your 2024 Ram 1500. If you're looking for a heavy-duty but also sporty ladder rack, well, the Outpost might be an option for you. Usually I don't recommend this for short bed trucks like what we have here with our Ram 1500. But depending on what you're carrying, this actually might be a really good fit. This is going to be a fixed height ladder rack. So compared to the OverHaul, which goes high enough to go over your cab for some cargo, the fixed height where it gives 13 inches above the rails is going to be great for things like storage with boxes or with rooftop tents. With this, you're going to get a lot of weight capacity. You're going to have 500 pounds for normal use, which is on road, or if you want to take your Ram truck off-road, you still have a weight capacity of 300 pounds. Your HD bars are going to be a big reason why you have that high weight capacity. These are going to be larger bars, so just double check if you have things that clamp around to see if they'll fit around. If not, you also have access to this top channel to use your channel mounted accessories. At the end of the HD bars, you're also going to have this anchor point for your straps, and you can also utilize the anchor point or the bracket behind the tower to secure things as well. The towers, along with most of what you see, is made of aluminum, which is awesome if you want to leave this on your truck for extended periods of time because then you're avoiding rust and corrosion. But even then, you still have this black powder coat finish to keep things looking sleek. Along with that, if you do want to take your towers off, this has bases that you can leave on the side of your truck bed, so it's a very quick and easy removal, as well as install if needed. Because this secures to your truck bed rails, you can slide the bases around wherever makes more sense for you. How I have it set up, and you don't have to do it this way, is I have the front crossbars about a foot away from our cab window, which is plenty of space for if you want to mount a rooftop tent. Now, from the front crossbar to the rear crossbar, we still have 43 inches of distance. So that's about 3.5 feet. And depending on your accessories and where they clamp, this may or may not be a good fit for you. So double check those dimensions and measurements, and then you can adjust as needed. So when you need to carry around some sporty items and you want a versatile ladder rack, for short bed trucks, I usually recommend the Yakima OverHaul just because those extend high enough to give you space even above the truck bed. However, our Outpost ladder rack here is still a pretty good fit if you want to carry around those shorter items or if you adjust things to go past and over your tailgate. With that great weight capacity and that helpful height, this is going to make it easier to reach your ladder rack in order to load and unload, or if you want to stand in the truck bed, that might be something easier to do compared to a taller ladder rack. So if this is the route you want to go, check out the install process so you can see how easy it is to get it set up. Here in our short bed truck, we do have to be mindful of where we want to put the bases. The distance apart will depend on what you want to carry. So what I did is I put it as close to the cab and as close to the tailgate as I could, just to get the almost maximum crossbar spread. It's going to be up to you. Where I have it right now will give me about 45 to 48 inches of crossbar spread. So look ahead of time what you want to carry and plan accordingly. Since this clamps around your truck bed rails, it's simply a matter of getting your bolt and your block, dropping them in through the track, and then grabbing your clamp, finding a spot in your truck bed rails where this will fit, and then threading the clamp through. You want your bases to be the exact distance apart on both sides. So measure for your front bases tighten those down, and then measure for your rear base. For example, I have my base 21 inches apart, and that measurement has to be the same on both sides. Tighten down all your bolts with the large Allen key included with your kit. With the bases already installed, we're then going to put the towers into the base. So you want to make sure that the towers are facing the right way, facing out, and with your two different bases, you're going to have one that is non-locking and one that locks. I like to mix and match them and have locks diagonally, but it is up to you for what makes you feel more secure. Tighten them down with the appropriate tool, with the non-locking one using the 6mm wrench and the locking one using the smaller 4mm Allen key. With that locking base secure, we can now put the lock on. Just fit it over and then you turn the key. Now, if you are using the Yakima SKS keys, this is a good time to switch the lock cores out so it matches your other accessories. We're then going to prepare our crossbar. So the first thing we do is take the small Allen key and use it to loosen the bolt so it just drops out of that crossbar. With that bolt out, you can then push or pull the end cap out. And then this preps you so that you can insert these two plates, which are going to be nuts for securing our towers. Once those plates are in, pop the end cap back in and tighten it back down with the bolt. Your crossbar now drops onto those towers. And your next step here is to line it up so that it's even on both sides. Underneath your crossbar, you're going to have these very faintly drawn numbers. So I found 37 to be the correct one for the front and the back, but this may be more or less by ½ an inch, depending where on your truck bed you have this installed. Now drop your crossbars onto your tower bases. And you do need to line this up so it's even on both sides. So make sure you're pushing out on your towers as you're adjusting your crossbar. Underneath, there will be some numbers written. So we're going to go to around 44 inches, whichever number it is. It might be a little bit more or less depending where on your truck you have it secured. Once you find that, you're then going to line up your plate. What I like to do is I like to use one of the tools just to help line up that plate and make sure it lines up with the hole in the tower. And then to secure to that plate, we're going to use our bolts. We'll have a split washer, and then we'll have a flat washer, and then that goes up and threads to that plate. Do the same thing on the other side and tighten down those bolts until your split washers flatten out. Once all 4 bars are tightened down, and I like to give them the good old shake test, then that's it for your install. You're now ready to load up your accessories and hit the road. That right there was a look at the Yakima OutPost HD system. We had the 68-inch long HD crossbars and the OutPost towers secured here on the 2024 Ram 1500.